Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Sexual aggression versus sexual repression. Now, it's time for me to go a little deep out here. Now, understand something. People out here are either one of three things. They're sexually aggressive. You have a significant part of the population that is sexually aggressive, meaning they will actively go after sex. They were active. They will do what they can, right? And they'll fix themselves up, develop their bait, figure out something, figure out where to go to get sex. But then you have another significant part of the population that's sexually repressed. Now, they may want sex, but it's a whole bunch of conditions under it. Whole bunch of conditions. Now, to understand the difference between the two, here's a good illustration. If a sexually repressed man sees a very attractive woman, well, first of all, he's going to be very scared. He's going to be very nervous about approaching her. Then he's going to tell himself a bunch of things. He's going to say, well, she might reject me. She look like this, or she's going to do this, or well, she's this, she look like this, or she's this type of woman. He's going to do all that stuff until, she pretty much walks away. Or if he does manage to approach her, he'll be very nervous because he already got a negative thing. And that's even if he does approach, because it'll take a lot. If you sexually repress, it take a lot to be aggressive about going for sex. Right? Going for a member of the opposite sex. Now, just to be clear, I'm saying this in terms of men. Women have the same issues. Women have the exact same issues. But, okay, so the sexually repressed guy, he's asking himself a bunch of questions. The sexually aggressive guy be like, hey, ma, how you doing? He's going to walk right up and holler. Now, this is irregardless of whether or not she'll reject him or not. He's just going to keep going because he has that inner drive. Like both of the sexual aggression and sexual repression are both very subconscious in nature. It is very subconscious. Like somebody who is sexually repressed, they had a lot of things going on in their life that probably did something to repress them. It could be religion. It could have been sexual abuse. It could have just been growing up in a strict household, a whole bunch of things, whatever culture they're in. The sexually aggressive person, they don't have any real rules on them. It just flows. It just flows. Now, I said there were three. The one that's best is being balanced between the two. You still got a sexually aggressive, but you know how to control it. But very, 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 very few people are at that thing. Now, like I said, it's a very subconscious thing. Somebody might not be conscious of it, even if you point it out to them. They might not see it. Like I've had met a lot of women. They were clients, so they were telling me some deep stuff. They were very sexually aggressive. Like women, when they sexually aggressive, their way of being sexually aggressive is being just more receptive to a wider variety of guys, right? A woman's way of being sexually repressed is, one, there's only a small group of guys that's going to appeal to her. Two, they're going to have to still jump through some hoops. So that's out there. But that's something for my woman's channel. For the men, that's the biggest thing. And indeed, it's the biggest difference between a nice guy and a player. Nice guys got some level of sexual repression. Players, they sexually aggressive. Now, that aggression, like I said, it's going to come off and they want to get the pussy. Right? So they ain't gonna have a problem cold approaching. Or even if they get choosing signals, they ain't gonna have a problem acting on it or doing a little bit extra. And as they get more and more aggressive, they're gonna figure out what they have to do to get what they want to get. When a person has a desire for something, anything, they're gonna figure out how to get it. If a person has a desire for some donuts, they're gonna figure out every donut place in the neighborhood, probably neighboring neighborhoods. They can go to another city and they'll find it. Or here's even like more hardcore analogy. Say a person is a hardcore drug user. I mean, like hardcore. You can take them out of the city they're in. You put them someplace else. they'll figure out where to find those drugs within a day of being there because they know what to look for. Now, someone who's sexually aggressive, they trying to satisfy that libido. So they not only they're gonna do what it takes. They're gonna fix themselves up, but also get an idea about their targets. They're gonna be reading. One thing about sexually aggressive men, they can read women a little bit better than a sexually repressed man. Now that sexual repression, yeah, the guys intellectually still want that fine woman. They want to back that thing up. But there's some fear there. There's going to be some fear. Like I said, there's a religious angle, trauma angle. They might be quicker to say, oh, they might be an STD or she got something. It's like a whole bunch of stuff, right? And to be honest, either one in the extreme is not good. What all humans need to do is work to balance it out. Because, see, for example, somebody might think sexual aggression is good, like just having it. It has its good points, but at the same time, if it doesn't have any controls on it, that person's like a bull in a china shop. That person will be getting into situations that, quite frankly, can keep them broke. And you have some guys like that. They so busy chasing so many women, they ain't getting anything else done. Right? Or they getting a whole lot of drama because they ain't really like checking out the woman's like character or anything. So that's one side. But the sexually repressed side, they the type afraid to go for anything. They might have a woman like holding a sign up, say, hey, come get it. And they still like too repressed to go get it. And see, that aggression and that repression actually extend to other areas of life. Because a person is sexually aggressive. They're aggressive about getting that libido, satisfying that libido. But say they practice something, sex transmutation, and that same energy that they use to get some ass, they use to make some money. It's a powerful thing. They use to make some money or accomplish some other goal. Because I always say, if a man figured out how to get sex, he can figure out how to get anything. Because he got the same energy. But the sexually repressed person, they might have an idea what they want, but they tend to get stuck in life. They tend to get stuck. So that's a problem. Now, I just gave this. I can really go deeper, and people in my inner circle, longtime followers, actually know what I'm talking about. But I wanted to throw that out there because it's something that people have to think about. Now, like I said, ideally you want to be at that balance point. You want to be at that thing where you still have that aggression, but it's under your control, like you riding a horse. That's a very key thing. You want to really tap into that. All right. So, like I said, I just want to throw that out there because as I said previously, last podcast, I want to really get more into sexual dynamics, but at least publicly, it'll be more about how people see it every day. So anyway, that's all I got for now. I'll talk to y'all. Peace and blessings.